like I get into everything, kind of how like an old maid gets into a swimming pool, very slowly, right? A little bit at a time. Astrology, to me, is just one of many oracles. An oracle is a device that allows the universe to speak to you, allows you to hear what the universe has been trying to say and that you've been dying to get, but it doesn't happen. So some people use the I Ching as a vehicle to allow the universe to speak to them about something that's important to them. They have a question and they need an answer. Some people use the tarot card. Astrology is just another oracle. It just is a very complex one. For example, I knew a very great astrologer who was a close friend of mine, or a good friend of mine, who was the head of the British Astrological Association. His name was Charles Harvey. Just a wonderful man. Now, he would spend 6 hours preparing to do a reading with the client. 6 hours of just incredible mental gymnastics, all these calculations. Now, someone like me doesn't spend any time. I just am ready to go with it. So what I'm trying to say is that there are many kinds of astrologers. Each one of them has a ritual they go through that puts them, as they call to say, on their contact. Once they're synced with their contacts, then whatever we can say is flowing through them to their client, they become in some way transparent, and the client receives whatever kind of reading or transmission that they're capable of communicating. I guess my point is, just to repeat, each of us has a different ritual that we have to go through in order to let the spirit speak or whatever. It's not, and I don't think of the spirit as something not myself. I don't, I'm not a theist. I don't believe there's any higher thing that I'm part of. Whatever is there, I'm part of it, and it's part of me, and it's the best part of me, and I'm the best part of it, believe it or not, or trying to be. So astrology is an oracle. So what does that make you think? I mean, I don't think that it's anything special. We could also say, often I describe astrology as cultural astronomy. Astronomy, there's no question about it. Astronomy is all about facts. That at this moment is the moment, they say, when this or that new moon will occur, a full moon, Mars will be aligned with Saturn on this moment, this second. So that's scientific. There's nothing to argue about that. Astrology is just about, well, what does that conjunction of Mars and Saturn mean? We know when it's going to happen, that's a fact. Now, what's the meaning of it? And this is where people differ. They have a lot of different. In the same way, I don't believe that astrology is in any way predictive. This is where Robert and I would totally differ. I believe the only predictions astrology can do are that if science says that in year 2050, Mars conjunct Saturn at this degree, that's a fact. If I can tell you what that means, then I can predict the future. If I can tell you something about what that scientific fact means, then astrology is predictive. If I can't, so yeah, astrologers who say that astrology is predictive in any other way, they may know something I don't know. They may be psychic, which is not astrology, and just know, like Nostradamus must have just known this, that, or the other thing. But I don't see it. I've had many conferences here over the years, 36 of them, of either Buddhist or astrology, and one of them was a conference just for famous astrologers who were financial astrologers. That means they made their living advising people how to invest their money. I think there were 22 of them that came. It was a very disappointing thing for me because many of them, when it came down to it, and I won't name names, didn't even have the money to get here. Under the counter, I had to buy them bus tickets or train or whatever it was, I don't remember. Here they were making their living, supposedly, by advising others how to invest money, astrologically. You would think that the first thing it would do is make themselves like $1 million. so they could give train fare or something. So I don't think that astrology is predictive. I think there's a lot of people who make their money predicting, and more power to them if they can do it. And they all have, like, you know, they'll spend hours showing you how they were right on this, that, and other thing. Never impressed me. Maybe because I can't do it. I don't know how to do that. If I did, I'd make $1 million right away, and then I'd do a lot of really good things with it. But I can't do that, and so I'm skeptical whether anyone can. So, but again, I think that it predicts what I say is like, this or that conjunction is going to happen. This new moon's definitely going to happen. What does that mean? And it means something. And you can tell me that, then, yeah, you got the meaning right maybe, and then you predicted it. That's prediction. That's good enough for me. But then we can argue about what it means. But so that I think that astrology is just the culture of astronomy, the culture, the popular culture, the meaning of astronomy. What does astronomy mean? Personally. Personal meaning of astronomy. That idea. So, but other people, other astrologers that you and I both know would not agree with that.
Yeah.
I wrote my first software sometime in the mid-1970s. But remember that it was only in 1972 that 4-function calculators, you know, add, supply, multiply, divide, appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was doing it with log tables. And log tables and trigonometric tables. Again, as I think I pointed out earlier, that I was the first person ever to program astrology on microcomputers and then make those programs available to others. You know, so 1977 is when I founded my company, Matrix. I mean, that's when I had my first home computer, which was a Commodore PET. And then I programmed an Apple IIe and the TRS-80, Radio Shack, and then IBM and so forth. So, but before that, I was doing all this stuff on calculators. First 4-function calculators, first node calculator, 4-function calculators, small programmable calculators, large programmable calculators, then microcomputers. And then even with a friend of mine working on mainframe, with, you know, cards and stuff, and calculating the structure of the solar system. I wrote a book called Interface Planetary Nodes in 1976 that showed where all the nodal structure crossed each other, and we had to figure all that out. That was not easy.